Welcome to the show, everybody. Thanks for listening to the show. Big night. Recording this on Thursday, getting out ahead of the game, recording on Thursday, coming out on Friday. But, after the games tonight, get right into it. Big show recapping the New Orleans matchups for both men's and women's basketball. Great interview. We finally give the cheer team, our national champions, the respect, the recognition they deserve. Catherine Lawrence, the spirit coordinator, basically the head coach of Southeastern cheer, is our guest today on today's show. Really cool interview, kind of, insightful, talking about how this national championship cheer works, because feels like everyone is in a different division. So we kind of explain that, talk about, growing the program, all that good stuff. And then finally, we've been waiting a year for this with Cole Kelly finally going and getting his opportunity. He had his opportunity in Washington, but this feels good, So anyway, big show. We'll start with the on the basketball side. Starting with women's basketball, 69-51. Big time win. And it feels like this is the kind of win that, this team is at their best. They've now won 3 in a row after the loss to UIW, which was bad, really bad loss. I think that this team is now playing its best basketball. 69-51. They win the first quarter by 12, go into halftime up 9, win 69-51. Haley Giartano was sensational. 9 of 17 from the field, career high 24 points, which is surprising that it's only 24. I feel like Haley would have had a weird 30-point game in there somewhere, but 24, that's the new career high for Haley. She was fantastic. Natalie Kelly has turned into a really good player. 12 rebounds for Natalie. That ties her season high. Alexis Horn, she was in double figures with 13. Just a good all-around night. We shoot 48% from the field and 30% from deep. On the other side, UNO, a team that has always been really, really good. Really competitive. They are not. They can't shoot. I mean, that is a well-coached team. That is a really hard fighting team. This UNO team was not good. They shoot just 30%, 17 of 55. They only took 12 threes and made 3 of them. 2 players in double figures accounted for nearly half their points. Pryor and Ross scored 25. The rest of the team scored 26 combined. That's not winning basketball, but we'll take it. But man, look, we did what we needed to do tonight. And if you're listening to this on Friday, which you are, because that's when I'm posting it, we did what we needed to do against UNO. But like I said, I am extremely optimistic about this team moving forward because we get this UNO team again. I don't love that we're playing them back to back like this. And because I'm saying this, it'll probably bite me, but I'm not worried about this team. There was nothing tonight about this UNO team that worries me. They are now 3-14. They've beaten Lamar by 14, who beat us. That's crazy. They beat Northwestern State by 11 coming into tonight. And then they beat South Alabama, who we beat South Alabama too. They've got some quality wins. The 3 wins they have, I thought it was going to be like an NAIA school. It's 3 D1 wins, and then they just lose. I don't know. Maybe there's something I'm missing about UNO women's basketball, but we did what we needed to do tonight. That's win over UNO. On the men's side, that one was not as easy, but we got it done. And while I said that the women are playing their best basketball, I don't think we've gotten there yet on the men's side. I don't think we're there on the men's side yet, but we're getting there. As I'm pulling up the Northwestern State game here, they're up 20 on Houston Christian right now. Southeastern 92, UNO 87. We scored 60 in the second half. Nick Caldwell, career high 28. I think Nick is the best off-ball mover in the league. It seemed like all his points tonight were coming from just movement off the ball, not even necessarily screens. He was just moving and people were finding him. And that felt like almost all of our field goals were like that. Both teams shot over 50% from the field. We shot over 50% from three. UNO shot 47%. They out-rebounded us by 7. But like I said, Nick Caldwell was phenomenal in this one. 28 points. Man, did some people score. Roger McFarland scored 17. So did Boogie Anderson. Alec Woodard scored 12. Everyone who played, we only had 2 bench players tonight, which is crazy, scored. We were, this is a type of game where if, you're injured, they've got one more sub than we did. We were short tonight, man, and we got it done. And it was the Nick Caldwell show. 28 and 8 for Nick. Roscoe was 1 point shy of a double-double with assists. He had 10 assists, 9 points. Unreal. The rest of the team had less than 10. 1 for Matt Strange, 3 for Alec Woodard, 3 for Boogie, and 1 for Roger McFarland. So 1, 4, 7, 8 combined. The rest of the team, and then Roscoe had 10 by himself, which is fantastic. It's the same type deal with us playing UNO again on Saturday. Now, this game does concern me because UNO got out to a big lead. UNO had a lead in the second half, and we made plays when we needed to. We hit some big shots. We forced some big turnovers. Boogie Anderson did a great job getting to the rim in this one. Like I said, Nick did a great job moving off the ball. But the problem is when you play this team back to back, I would be shocked if Nick gets to 20 points on Saturday, the same way that he got to 20 tonight, which was a lot of open looks near the basket. The UNO coaching staff is really good. I do not think they're going to let Nick Caldwell beat them at the basket. I think they're going to force us to shoot threes. And tonight we shot the 3 really well. Do I see that happening again in terms of us being able to just get to the rim? No, we're going to have to shoot. We're going to have to make threes. If they give us the open look near the rim, great. I just don't see it happening. I think they're going to play soft. I think they're going to take cut lanes away because we scored 92 on them tonight. And we needed all 92 because we gave up 87. We need to play better defensively on Saturday, and we need to find different ways to score the ball on Saturday, which I think we can. Depends on who's healthy. We only have 1 day before that. We'll see if either of the PC's brothers will play. From what I've heard, Brody Roberry or Burry is close. So that would be a big help. But, we'll see. We'll see if we have the same 7. And but it was a good win. And we've had a few of these. The Northwestern loss was really tough, but this is a good bounce back. So now we check the conference standings before we head into the weekend. The women are still 1 game back of first place, which is Commerce. If we wind up tying Commerce at the end, we win the tiebreaker. We share the conference title, but we would get the 1 seed in the tournament. So we are tied with or Corpus Christi. That's who I meant. Corpus Christi is at 7-1. We are tied with Commerce at 6-2, but we are really second because we have the win over Commerce. McNeese has won 4 in a row after a 1-3 start. They are 5-3, and then everybody else is kind of middle of the road. So I think it's really I think honestly it's a 3-team race. I don't think McNeese will stay where they're at because they've only gone 2-8 on the road. They're not a good road team. Corpus Christi worries me because they are above 500 both at home and on the road. Commerce, like I talked about last episode, I think they're a really good first-year Division I team. They got to be better on the road. They've now lost 2 in a row, and I think that they're kind of fading now. So maybe a 3-team race, probably a 2-team race for that number 1 seed. And then on the men's side, we are now, as I pull it up, we are now in sole possession of first place. We get the win to move to 6-2. Corpus Christi beats Nichols, so that puts Nichols down to 5-3. Corpus Christi is now 5-3, and we own the tiebreaker over Corpus Christi. So it's a game up, and we own the tiebreaker over them. The issue would be Nichols. Nichols owns the tiebreaker over us at the moment. And then Commerce is 5-3, but we own the tiebreaker over them. So then on Saturday, if we win, obviously we control our own destiny from here. A ton of basketball left, but we control our own destiny. Corpus Christi will play McNeese. Lamar will play Northwestern. Nichols will play UIW, and Commerce plays Houston Christian. You've got to believe that that's chalk. Corpus Christi should really handle McNeese at home. Northwestern is playing really well. They destroyed McNeese tonight. Houston Christian. They destroyed Houston Christian. UIW is beating McNeese with 11 seconds left at the time of me talking, but Northwestern State destroyed Houston Christian. Nichols is got Incarnate Word. That one's tricky. That could be the one where I see maybe there's an upset because UIW is starting to play a little bit better. And then I think Commerce will roll over Houston Christian. So that's what we got. We control our own destiny. And even if we lose, we've now given ourselves a bit of, slack. But man, that Northwestern game, if we would have had that, we'd be 2 games up right now with a little over a month left in the season. Anyway, so that's the basketball recap tonight. And before we get into our interview, I am super, 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 super excited. When I started this, it's not the easiest thing in the world, having a full-time job to go along with this, but I'm so thankful for the people who have supported the show, everybody who listens to it, everybody who follows us on Twitter and Instagram and watches on YouTube. It means a ton. But I also want to thank our first ever sponsor. They are sponsoring our interview with Catherine Lawrence today. Wise Guys Daiquiris. Wise Guys Daiquiris, our first sponsor on the state of Southeastern. A huge thanks to Wise Guys. Flavor of the month right now, guys, is King Cake at Wise Guys. It's available at both locations. So let's say, you're not in Hammond, but you want the King Cake Daiquiri. Don't worry. They got you covered over there at Wise Guys. I mean, they've got the key lime pie, the chocolate chip cookie dough. It's whatever you want. You can choose 4 flavors for an $11 daiquiri flight. And you got your locations in Hammond and Amite. Doesn't matter where you go, Wise Guys has you covered. And don't forget about the daiquiri specials. Mondays and Wednesdays, you get $3.75 16-ounce, $6.50 large, and a $9.25 extra large. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 2-for-1 daiquiris and $11 half gallons. And then on Saturdays and Sundays on the weekends, this Saturday when you're watching the Lions beat UNO, you get the $21 gallon. You can get the $28 party pack that includes a gallon of daiquiris, 8 Jell-O shots, and 8 cherry bombs. They are open 7 days a week in Hammond. They open at 11. They're open Monday through Friday in Amite. They're open Saturday at 11. They're closed on Sundays in Amite. But Wise Guys Daiquiris, the best out there. Huge thanks to Wise Guys. We Love you guys. You're the best. Check out the flavor of the month. All right. King cake. Wise Guys daiquiris. They'll make you a daiquiri you can't refuse. If you're listening to the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, we're about to go into our interview with Catherine Lawrence. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to go watch that video. Get out of this video, go watch that video. Here is our interview with Catherine Lawrence, brought to you by Wise Guys Daiquiris.